let's check in on our seedlings and see how it's going. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Horticulture Geek. I'm Ray, and thank you so much for joining me here today. And as you can see, we're not in the garden today. We're actually in our dining room, and we're right next to my seed starting area. If you checked out my seed starting video, I unboxed some seed starter kits from Gardener Supply, and we have got our first round of seeds going. And so for today, I thought we would do a little check-in on our seedlings, and it's time to thin out our bok choy seedlings. So I thought I would do kind of a how to thin out seedling video, 101 garden basics here. So if you have never thinned out seedlings before, or if you're new to gardening and you're trying to get into it, it can be a little overwhelming to understand what you're actually supposed to do right here, because you'll watch other YouTube videos. I know I watch lots of YouTube videos, and they're always just like, hey, choose the healthiest seedling or the strongest seedling and get rid of all the rest. But how do you know what the healthiest seedling is? How do you know what the strongest seedling is? And if you don't know those things, you might as well have been watching that video in a foreign language. What does that mean? What does that do? Well, I'm going to let you in on a little secret today. Let me turn the camera around and let's actually look at our seedlings. Okay, so here we are in my setup. So you can see I've got the 2 trays, I've got 2 grow lights, and there is a heating mat under there, which is currently turned off because the seedlings are up. There's no reason for the heating mat right now. But let's come in here close and let's just look first. This is my tray of peas, and you can see back there, my sweet peas haven't done anything yet. I'm going to give them another day or so, but my guess is those seeds were duds. Those were older seeds. I did pre-soak them for 24 hours like you're supposed to. So far, nothing has germinated, and if nothing does, oh well, that's all right. But up here in my regular, eating peas, I've got a really good germination. And I did plant 2 seeds per cell, and I tried to go opposite corners. And so you can see this one, only 1 came up, and I lost 1. Right here in this one, I got a little close, but I've got 2 there. And I'm actually not going to thin these peas, because these peas will very soon start vining out. They'll have vigorous root systems. I'm going to be moving them directly into the garden. They'll be fine. I don't feel like, see right here's a great example. Those 2 are far enough apart that once they're out in the garden and doing their own thing, they'll just take off, and the fact that their roots are intertwined right here isn't going to matter. They'll be fine. I don't want to thin these out. But let's look here at the bok choys. So you can see I've got several seedlings popping up in each tray. Well, which one is strongest? Which one is the healthiest? Well, let's look right here and zoom in. So here's what you're going to notice is that these 2 leaves here are what is called the first leaves or the cotyledon leaves. They are not true leaves. It is the seed's way of just putting something out quickly to get more nutrients back down into the seed so that then the plant can grow and push out true leaves. So this is a wonderful example of the difference between a cotyledon and a true leaf. You can definitely tell the difference there. So these seedlings are doing really well. But as you can tell, they're a little close together. I ultimately do want to end up with 1 plant per cell here. So what's the secret? What's the magic? Well, here's the secret, is that for a lot of times, there is no best seed. There is no healthiest seed. It is literally a crapshoot as to which seed you want to choose. But sometimes you just want to choose what you perceive is the biggest or healthiest or most vibrant seed. So let's look at this tray right here. You can see I've got 2 seedlings standing up and 1 that's flopped over. And of the 2 that are standing up, 1 is really nice and 1 is kind of runty. So I'm just going to take out the flopped over one, and I'm going to take out the runty one and just leave the strong, healthy one. But now let's peek right here at this tray. There's 4 coming up. They're all about the same size. There's a couple smaller ones, but this one here and this one here, they're almost identical. So how do you tell? You really can't. So just pick one. It doesn't matter either way, just pick one. And so I'm probably going to tend to lean towards this one simply because it has another true leaf further along in development than this one. So we will get rid of all but this one for that case. So that's your secret, that's your magic, is just looking it over and seeing if there's anything that jumps out to you as to would distinguish one being a little further along, a little more advanced, a little healthier or happier than the others. And if you can't distinguish it, don't worry about it. Just nip off all but one and move on. So that's the beauty of gardening, is that these things are going to grow. They're going to do their job. So just pick one and move on. So let me set the camera up, and I'm going to work through this tray really quick and get these nipped up, and then I'll be right back. All right, so we got that all thinned out. So those will start filling out better now. And now that there's not so much competition around them, they will start thickening up their stems because there's no other plants for them to lean on. And I do have a fan going, an oscillating fan, that will help just kind of stiffen their stems and let them start to develop. So that is it. And while we're over here, I'll show you this. Now, this is a neat little hack right here. This is just chives that I am growing. And so I didn't have a tray. I wanted these to be in a pot. And so this pot does not have any drain holes in it. It's just a solid pot. But I slipped the whole pot down into a Ziploc bag and created a dome. And so now you can see the dome is off, or it's open. And there are my chives. They've sprouted and they are growing. So if you don't have domes to put over things, you can improvise. Take what you have, make what you have work. This is a large bag from IKEA. IKEA has really good large size bags. So if you have an IKEA near you or something similar, go get the big 1, 2, or 3 gallon Ziploc bags. They will hold large size pots, and you can start growing things like this. And as you can see, I have this placed next to these grow lights, but it's also under a lamp here. So the chives are getting the light they need to germinate and get going. But everything's looking good. So a few more days here. We're gonna let our peas grow a little bit more. We're going to let our bok choy get settled, and then not too long from now, we'll be able to start pulling these out and putting them in the garden. All right, guys, as you can tell, there's a different day here. When I got to editing out the video, I just didn't like the way it sounded. My audio messed up on me. But I did want to close this video just by saying that I hope you've enjoyed this video today. Maybe it has really walked through the whole thinning process for you and opened up some of the mystery of it. Because again, like I said earlier, when you look at some of these videos, they just kind of say, pick the best seedling, and they glaze over it. So if you didn't know what that means, then it gets very confusing. And so I just wanted to kind of explain that to you guys today so that there would be no confusion, and you understand that sometimes you just pick some to cut out and pick one to leave, and you don't have to worry about it. Just do the best you can. Pick what looks good to you. Pick which one you think looks stronger, healthier, prettier, whatever. And then if you can't make a difference, don't worry about it. Just pick some to cut out, choose one to keep. It's a plant, it will grow, it will do its thing. And seeds are cheap. You can do it again if you don't like the outcome. So hopefully that has helped. And I also did want to say about the seed starting kit from Gardener's Supply, because I did not touch on that yet in the video, that I love them. So I know in my seed starting video, I unboxed those seed starting kits, and I told you that I was really excited to start using them, and I was right. They are really, really great. The water retention in that reservoir and wicking up from the bottom has really been a game changer. I'm thoroughly enjoying my seed starting kits from Gardener Supply. So if you are interested in those, I would definitely at this point recommend them 100%. So hopefully that is beneficial to you as well. But that is it for today's video. As you can see, it's raining out today, which is good. Getting the ground nice and wet. And hopefully, again, very soon we can be out here and gardening. The spring and summer growing season is quickly approaching, and like many of you, I'm very excited for that. I'm ready to get out in the garden. If you've enjoyed this video today, give me that thumbs up. I sure would appreciate it. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below in the comment section. I would love to hear from you, and I would try to answer any questions that you can throw at me. I may not always be able to answer them, but I'll certainly do my best. Until next time, guys, from my garden to yours, I wish you all the best and happy gardening.